Hey everybody, what's going on? And this is a crucial episode here in the series. We're finally back in the playoffs, and I also have a very important announcement to make. I cannot make that right now, or else it'll spoil some of the video. But just wait, stay tuned to the very end, because one, this is a crazy playoff series, and two, you do not want to miss that announcement, trust me. Now, we just have some loose ends to tie up before we jump into this playoff series. A quick look at everybody's stats between me and Deshaun's second season in NBA and Donovan and Ferran's third season. The housekeeping to do before we go into this playoff series is 1. Check on everybody's stats where we finished. 2. Check the playoff race, see who's playing who finished where. And 3. Reveal who we're going to be taking on in my second playoff appearance as a pro. At one point in the season, we were looking pretty good. When I first came back from injury and rehab and my stint in the G League, we were around 4th in the West. But unfortunately, as you guys know, we went through a little bit of a slump, had some heartbreaking losses at the end of the year, including that Dame Lillard game winner he hit on us in our home court. If you missed that last episode, I'd go back and I'd take a look at that, because that was one of the most ridiculous game-clinching shots I have ever seen, and of course it came from Dame Lillard. But unfortunately, it seemed to have added some unwanted negative momentum, you could say, towards our playoff push, as I came with about 10 games to go in the regular season. And of course, Dame Lillard has to win MVP with the stats he's been putting up, as that ridiculous shot only further cemented this intense rivalry we have with Portland. So we're going to take a look at some of the hardware that was taken home. John Morant, playing for the Bulls in my league, he takes home Rookie of the Year. 6th man goes to Yusuf Nurkic of the Portland Trailblazers, because they got a loaded front court, so he's been great off the bench for him. Defensive Player of the Year, Donovan Gray, averaging about 2 blocks and 1.5 steals a game. He would not be your only main character in the series, taking home some hardware. Most Improved Player of the NBA goes to yours truly. My stats are up from averaging only 7 points and 5 assists in my rookie year, as I put up 13 and was 3rd in the league in assists per game. So all NBA first team, Luka, Damian, Giannis, LeBron, and our teammate Anthony Davis. Second team fills out with Curry, Harden, Kat, Donovan makes it onto all NBA second team, and Joel Embiid will round out that list. All NBA third team, Ferran and Deshaun find their way onto a list, as it seems like everybody, all 4 of my friends, including myself, we all have very promising futures ahead of us. All defensive first team, Donovan finds himself on here, accompanied by Ferran. Is, guess what? Ferran finished 2nd in the NBA Defensive Player of the Year voting, as he actually led the league in steals. All defensive second team, I find my way on here surprisingly. As you guys know, I'm a plus on-ball defender, but I'm one of those guys that it's more about the eye test for me. I'm not going to record crazy amount of steals, but I will play solid on-ball defense and make sure that my guy cannot make an impact on the offensive side of the floor. And as you can see, a quick look at the playoff tree, we're playing another friend here in the first round. Last year we took on Portland. Now we're going to be facing off against the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers, accompanied by Ferran and LeBron teaming up, won 15 in a row to end the year, and they actually jumped Portland at the very end of the year to secure the number 1 overall seed as the top dogs in the West. Portland finished 2nd, Dallas 3rd. We find ourselves at 6, as we started to struggle a bit, but we did manage to win 3 of our last 4 in the regular season, securing that 6th seed. Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Philly, Brooklyn, and Toronto round out that top 5 in the East. And before the game, head coach Anthony Thornton says, "Hey Fitz, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to put Drew on Doncic and keep you on Curry." This isn't going to be for the entire playoff series, but the head coach Anthony Thornton says that he wants to give Doncic some different looks, as not only is he leading the NBA in assists, he's averaging a triple-double, numbers that 21-year-olds have never put up like him before in the NBA. And not only that, Doncic has played 4 games against us in the regular season. He's averaged 28 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists. So apparently, Doncic just seems to like to feast on us, as immediately, right out of the blocks fast, Deshaun puts up a dunk for Dallas, and there he is in the corner. knocking down his first 2 field goals of the game, as there's a quick look at his stats pre and post All-Star game. 11-6 now, Dallas off to a fast start. I attacked the 7-foot tall tree inside known as Kristaps Porzingis, who's another impact player for this team, as he's averaging 15 on the year right now. So I don't get the layup to fall per se, but I do have an opportunity to put up my first playoff points since tearing my MCL against Damian Lillard and Donovan Gray in the playoffs last year. And I would get it to fall, so just like that, I'm back, baby. Kristaps taking it right at Anthony Davis. He's going to have to play a very good defensive series if we're going to get Dallas off our game. And of course, I don't have to worry about him on offense. Anthony Davis is always making his impact felt on the offense side of the floor, and I always keep an eye on him on fast break opportunities. He's so hard to guard in the open court. And that brings up another interesting point about Dallas. They are really, really good defensively in the half court. They're top 3 in the NBA in half court defense. But the thing is, they're kryptonite on defense. They have a lot of athletes at a lot of positions and many different spots in the rotation. So every time I'd get a drive, it was so hard because the defense would collapse and recover very quickly, as I take that strong against Maxi Kleber, as that's my first actual field goal of the NBA playoffs. And it comes after a full quarter of nothing doing for me. Only 2 free throws in the first quarter. But look at Josh Hart. We're going to need him to be very impactful, because a series like this isn't only about your stars, it's about your second stringers. Speaking of that, there's Mirotic hitting a big bucket right there. But we're going to need to start to close down against Dallas. Strengthen up on the defensive side of the floor. They're shooting around 60% in the early goings of this one. Double team by AD will reverse that around to Josh Hart, who hits another jump shot from the perimeter. We find ourselves with the lead, and look at this. I pick Luka's pocket, and Willie Cauley-Stein is just too slow to catch up with me on the fast break. Making my impact felt quick, early, and often in this game. Not just scoring points, but I'm doing things on both sides of the floor. Already 7 assists. Make that 8. Just kidding. Kristaps coming out of nowhere and swatting that one. You see, against a lot of other teams, that might have been an assist, but not against Dallas. They just got so many athletes, and we really need to make it a focus to get out in the open floor and run. Make it a track meet, because as you'll see, there's going to be some clips that show us exploiting that shaky defense. And look at this ball reversal. Jaleel to JJ Redick as he pops it from way beyond the arc, and that's a big shot here at the end of the first half. Now, I know JJ wants to win because he's been in the playoffs every single year of his career. Redick in his NBA career has played for Orlando, the Clippers, Philly, the Pelicans, and the Bucks, and he has not missed the playoffs one time in that career. But unfortunately, as you can see, Dallas is starting to go on a run, and it feels like in this series, every time the third quarter would hit, our offense would become so sluggish. But I try a 3, and there's a rare make. I don't take them a lot, but when I do, most of the time they go in. I just need to be wide open. I always take my 3s within the flow of the offense because I'm not some sharpshooter, so I know my spots. Great defense on the interior. I'm running, and as you can see, Dwight Powell was playing the pass into Josh Hart, so I'll just stop and pop. Not the greatest performance from the floor for me. 4 of 11 from the field. Great help on Doncic, though. I've been doing a good job helping on him. I relinquish an outside shot that's open, but Jalen Brunson cannot hit it. So now we're on the open floor again. Okay, I stop and pop. Can I hit another jumper? Yes, that one rattles in as well. So I'm starting to pick it up, as most of my missed shots came in the third along with the rest of my teammates. But now that we're over that slump, we've tied it back up. It's knotted up at 85s right now. Ball reversal to Drew Holiday, and he makes a clutch shot. A big assist, as that is my 10th assist, as we find ourselves up 3 now. Dallas will push it between 1. I split the double team. Mirotic with a circus shot at the end of the shot clock, and that'll fall. We need to hit shots like that if we're going to take down a team as prestigious as Dallas has been this year. Good pick and roll defense, but I find myself matched up on Willie Cauley-Stein, but the shot clock's winding down. He has to force it up, and somehow he doesn't finish over me. So now we're off to the break, and look at that. Another defensive lapse in the open court for Dallas, and most of our offense has just come taking what they give us whenever we're in transition. 33 points for Anthony Davis. Great pick play for Drew, but it's off the back iron. That misses. Dallas playing with the lead right now. But they're really not acting like it. They're still playing as fast as they normally do. They're not worried about icing the game at all. They're still killing us on the inside. As unfortunately, outside of Anthony Davis, between Jahlil Okafor, Derek Favors, and Nikola Mirotic, we have not had a fun day locking down the interior. It's been a lot of points in the paint for these Mavericks. But immediately I come right back, draw the defense in. Josh Hart, can he hit another big shot? And it rattles in. Tie game at 97. Josh Hart has had a beautiful series, as you guys will see that. Only some glimpses of that in this game, but you'll see in the games coming up that Hart was playing his butt off. Great defense on Doncic, but he is just so hard to guard. He's 6'9", 6'10" almost. I'm 6'1", barely a $180. That's pretty generous to call me 180 pounds. So if I do match up with him at any point in the series, it's going to be really tough when he takes it into the post. And another assist over to Josh Hart. That's 15 assists on the ball game. We need to stop here, though. Deshaun on the inside. Spin jumper versus Josh Hart. Great defense once again. Pushing the floor. Drew inside to AD. Punishing Kristaps on the inside. As Porzingis has not had a fun day matching up against Anthony Davis, as he has 35 on his head right now. 4-point game. I'm drawing the double. I'm trying to... Took me a while to pass it to Derek Favors, as it seemed like my controller was not working or something. I don't know what happened there. I was jamming L2, trying icon pass, but finally I get the pass in there. Now, trading baskets, that strategy might work against some teams, but not squads as potent as Dallas. And yeah, I'm doing a great job of helping up on Luka all game. But this one I get a little too greedy. Derek Favors was there for the help. I should not have came over, leaving Seth Curry wide open. I can't do that in this stage of the game, and I'm forcing it on the other end. I'm choking game one away, and this right here would seal the deal. Deshaun telling us Pelicans to be quiet. It's funny, 2 years ago, me and him were teaming up, winning a national championship on Texas back in our college days. But now we're going against each other, trying to make a run at the title. Game one was very competitive. I like our fight. I like our grit, but unfortunately, it would be my mistakes that costed us this game. And between this game and the last few games that we lost in the regular season, including that matchup against Portland, a bit of a narrative started to be right in the press. These beat writers for New Orleans are now saying that I don't have the ability to close games. Sports writers, sports media in general, they're all saying that I'm young, I can't handle the spotlight. If Lillard would have never had to make that shot back in the regular season, that crazy game winner he hit against us, he would have never had to made that if I would have stepped up and hit that shot I took over Donovan on the previous possession before he hit the game winner. So I'm ready to prove all the naysayers wrong here in game two. High post feed, Anthony Davis on comeback door. I bobbled the pass a little bit, but I still regained possession, and I put the layup in there. A quick snapshot of my stats: 13 points, 9 assists, third in the NBA in that category. The only two guys to have beat me out for that assist crown were Lonzo Ball at 8.7 and Luka at 10 flat. Speaking of assists, this is a nice one to Drew Holiday, doing what coach is trying to tell us to do: get out in transition and beat the Mavs defense before they can set up in the half court. 4 seconds left. Another good defensive possession for the Mavericks. Euro step around. Willie Cauley-Stein. And it trickles in. Wow. What a circus roll. I can't believe that leaked in, but at the end of the day, a layup's a layup. Dallas up again here at the early stages of this game. Deshaun, not good. Jump shot off the back rim. Now we're off to the races once again. Don't want to let them get set up as I put that over the 6'9" Luka. I'm not afraid to go against the tall trees inside as Deshaun makes a jump shot. Dallas has Willie Cauley-Stein, 7'1", Kristaps, 7'3". Even my matchup, Luka, he is 6'8", 6'9", but I can't be scared. I got to go right at these guys as Anthony Davis is the popper off the off-ball screen, giving me another easy assist. Davis on Dwight Powell as I find myself, I didn't set my feet. but Anthony Davis would bail me out. He is a whole new animal in this playoff series. Step back from the wing. That one wouldn't be good either, but look who has my back once again. Unfortunately, despite my hot shooting start, I would fall into a bit of a slump. As you can see, these last few jump shots not going like how I planned them. Good defense inside on Seth Curry. I give this one up to Josh Hart. He takes a step in on Deshaun. No good, but look at the hustle. Josh Hart will always bring a lot of heart. Bad pun, I know. But this guy, man, he's not afraid. Look at this Larry Bird type play. He knows where the ball is going off of the miss. Saves it to Anthony Davis. What an unreal play by Josh Hart. And he was always known at Villanova for his hustle, and he's bringing that in an NBA uniform as well. Nice take on Luka and Deshaun as I go with the reverse, and I get hacked. And that's what I got to do right now. If my shots aren't falling, since that first quarter, I've been pretty ice cold in the second quarter for, lack of a better word. So I got to get to the charity stripe and make good on my opportunities. Between head coach Anthony Thornton matching me up with Luka this game, yes, he's changed it from Drew Holiday, as Holiday with another big layup on the break. He's really best utilized on the break is what I'm finding out. But like I was saying, between Luka now matching up with me and the Dallas defense making it such a priority after me putting up 15 assists last game to zone in on me and try to limit my playmaking, it's been really hard to find my spots here in game 2. But there's a nice look inside as Anthony Davis throws down the sledgehammer on Kristaps Porzingis. Shot clock expiring as Deshaun has to force up a circus shot. I'm pulling up on a break. Can I get a jump shot to fall? Yes, I can. As Deshaun's not having a great game either. 2 of 7 from the floor. Knotted up at 51 right now. Look at this move I put on the defense. Behind the back to get past Kristaps. Hesitation to go past Luka to get a step as he hit me from the side. A lot of body contact as I go to the free throw line, make 2 more to give me 13 on the game. Now we're in the fourth quarter. First possession of the fourth. Not coming out scared. Going right at Seth Curry and the Mavs defense. There's a big and one, as that is one that we really needed right now. And look at this. I would not be done making my impact. All these guys want to say I can't close out games. Well, how about this? Takeover mode. 5 points within the first 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. How about that for trying to close out a game? Look at Deshaun, though. Second chance points. He's one of the better rebounding forwards in the league, as he does not flub up that second chance opportunity. Now, one reason why I think it's better for me to be on Doncic like I've been this game and Drew to stay on Seth Curry is look at Curry's numbers right there. 1 of 8 from the floor as I drop this one into Anthony Davis, as it just feels like it's a better matchup for both guys on our team to take, or for Drew to take Seth Curry and for me to match up with Luka as Deshaun hits a 3. That's a big shot for Dallas right now. High pick roll. Jalen Brunson got him stumbling a little bit. The popper is Mirotic, but I can't give it to him. Instead, I'll pop myself with a step back. 20 points for number 20. And not only that, but 9 of those 20 have come in the fourth. I'm really having a chip on my shoulder this game, trying to prove those doubters and naysayers wrong. Another slim lead and a big possession. I get Dwight Powell leaning, finishing at the bucket. 11 of my 22 in the fourth quarter. But Dallas would not stop making baskets. Their offensive execution is always A1. But look at how big this shot is from Drew Holiday. The confidence to take that with a man in his face from a few feet behind the three-point line. But he still gets it to fall. Doncic, tough shot. But Willie Cauley-Stein has been big this series. As Okafor, I haven't said his name a lot so far, but he has had a tough series on both sides of the basketball, especially on defense. But look at Kristaps. At the end of the shot clock, we thought we were playing great defense. But Kristaps, much like Drew Holiday's shot, just strokes it and he gets to fall. Dallas already up by 1. I'm icing Luka. I want him one-on-one, but he gets a step. Willie Cauley-Stein set a screen there that might have been moving, and I could not recover from it. So Doncic, he'll put up the and one plus the free throw. I can't make that jump shot. I've been so good this fourth quarter, but on back-to-back possessions, I can't make the jump shot, and I relinquish a layup from in close. Deshaun, he thought about it. He's really thinking about ending it right here. Step back, no good, but where is Derek Favors? He has also been invisible so far this series. And those two guys, including Mirotic not grabbing rebounds when he's in off the bench, those three guys have been the big culprits of this series. Last chance today, no good. No good. And then this right here would just be insult to injury. Deshaun, my former college teammate, we won a national championship together, but there is no love lost when we're going up against each other in this heated rivalry series here in the playoffs. Just like game one, we had a shot to win it, but also just like game one, we could not pull it out, and it'd be another 10-point loss, also like game one. So a big culprit to why we're down 2-0 is our big men. Mirotic, Favors, and Okafor. They've all been struggling with rebounding, closing out the interior, basically everything that comes with the job description of being a big man. But look at that. Doncic did have 24, but he took 22 shots to get it. This was me on him today. Head coach Anthony Thornton switched the matchup back to me on Doncic. Drew on. So we're going to take a quick detour and look at around the league. And the Lakers had a 15-game winning streak going into the playoffs. And a big reason that is for Faran Nadim's performance. 30 points in game 3 of that series. And Donovan puts up 19 and 15 as Portland is 1 game away from sweeping the Warriors in the first round. So we're going to hop right into game 3. This is an elimination game. It's a best of 5. So if we can't win this one, we're going home. Deshaun from the top of the key. That three-pointer, we're scorched the net. And it seems like once again we're off to another bad start. We got off to slow starts in game 1 and game 2. But look at this. Shot clock winding down. I pocket my second 3-ball of the playoff series. As my first jump shot, my first points come off a three-pointer. You don't see that very often from me of all players. So, but this is a lot more like my game. Getting out in transition, not letting that vaunted Dallas defense get set up. Nice dish out of the post for Anthony Davis as I stop and pop from the free throw line, as I have 7 out of the team's first 9 points. And the only other basket came off an assist from me. Look at that, 4 of 20 to start this game. We are not playing like our back against the wall at all. But look at this lob. Wow, off of a spin move, I throw it up to Anthony Davis. And the unibrow punches it through with one hand. But when you're having a bad first quarter like we are, nothing goes your way. That's a pass I've made so many times in my life, but unfortunately, with the way this ball game's going, nothing can go right now. That one just floats out of bounds, but the starters get a breather, and it's back within 6 points. But Doncic just so hard to guard. Look where he pulls this one from. He was all the way back in Dallas. That's how far he shot that one. And as you can see at the bottom of your screen, if you can rewind it if you want. I brushed up on it a little bit earlier, but Doncic has killed us in the regular season. 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists in 4 matchups against us in the regular season. Josh Hart, however, says he doesn't care about that. Another big shot for Josh Hart as he is playing his butt off this series as I attack, draw the double team. Tough shot over Luka, and Josh Hart, he pockets another one. Our free throw numbers or field goal numbers are looking a lot more respectable. Josh Hart, he puts down another one. I can't believe the explosion from him this game, or this series as a whole, really. But we come back in the fourth quarter, and the bench once again has our back. We're up 4, getting subbed back in. Mirotic looking a lot better this game, as he has been a key contributor. 9 points plus minus of 10. Here we go, Drew Holiday off the screen. Does he have one? Yes, he does. He's controlling the left side of the court while Josh Hart is controlling the right. Shots flying in from everywhere for us right now. As Deshaun takes Drew off the dribble. Tough shot, no good, but it's tipped out to Kleba. He's blocked, but Kleba, look at this move he puts on Anthony Davis, soaring over the defense. I was in shock. I could not believe what I just saw. Maxi Kleba, out of all the players on Dallas, crosses over AD and dunks on Redick. But AD, the unibrow, would have to get back the Dallas defense on the next possession as Kristaps is matching up with him, but he was nowhere in the vicinity, as it seems AD has taken out Kristaps of this series mentally, as he has not been on his game, and we'll brush up on that later on in the video. Take Doncic off the dribble. Yes, that one will go. As Deshaun, tough second half. That's a big reason why Dallas just isn't looking as sharp offensively here in the second half of action. 15 points, 13 assists for me on the game. Wow, we just cannot catch a break, can we? We need shots like that to fall to go our way if we're going to take down a team like Dallas. But look at that dish inside. Deshaun with his first field goal since the halftime, as his only 2 points in the second half have come from 2 free throws. But just like Game 1 and Game 2, we put ourselves in a position to compete with Dallas at the end of the game, and we get a big stop there. Game 1 and Game 2, we couldn't close it out. I think it's time that we shush up all these naysayers, man. Look at that shot on the break. Pulling up from a step inside the 3-point line as we find ourselves up 2 still. Dallas making shots when they need it. Doncic pressuring the ball handler. I give a high pick to Josh Hart. He's been great today. Gives it back to me. 2 seconds left. Double team comes. Circus shot from Josh Hart. And he gets it to fall. In every series and every NBA playoffs, there's always going to be moments that define the series. And shots like that one from Josh Hart, that's going to be one if we can pull this game out. I got another chance to ice the game, but that one would be off the mark. Once again, I'm just adding more fuel to the fire, man. That's a shot I need to hit at this stage of the game, or else I'm going to continue to hear this chatter that I can't close out games. But one stop, though. I can still close it out on the defense side of the floor. No more game winners. No more crazy BS at the end of the game. Doncic brings it out, and he steps on the half-court line. Luka Doncic throws the game away, and the look on Rick Carlisle's face says it all. I can't believe my eyes. The fans can't believe their eyes. 2 free throws, and we're going to sneak out of here with a win off of Luka's blunder at the end of the game. And I kept my head up after missing that jump shot. There's always going to be moments, just when you think you're out of it, there's always going to be situations when you can redeem yourself and ice the game. And I find myself in one of these situations as I make 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2-possession game. And if we can win the next game in the series, we're going to force to a winner-take-all Game 5. What a night here as we close it out against the Mavericks here in Game 3. 19 points, 14 assists, 2 steals, 50% from the floor. Take and make my only 3 of the ball game, and those 2 free throws to ice it at the end. Luka, 23 points, 6 assists, only 1 rebound. This is a far cry once again from his triple-double he's averaging in the regular season. So it seems that head coach Anthony Thornton is going to continue to roll with me on Luka and Drew on Steph. Donovan Gray and the Portland Trailblazers, as Donovan puts up a triple-double to close out that series. So it's confirmed. If we can somehow win these next 2 games and upset Dallas, we will be facing Donovan once again in the playoffs, and our bitter rivals, the Portland Trailblazers. As that between the legs gets Seth Curry a little frozen, as look, you can take a look at my stat line. 18 points, 12.5 assists here in the first round. I'm always playing my best basketball in the playoffs. Nice dish inside to Drew Holiday. Once again, not letting that defense set up before we get our shot off. Kristaps, once again, just not looking the same as he was in the regular season. 1 of 5 to start this game. Put another move, this time on Doncic. Going to the paint, getting it over the tall trees inside. We are firing on all cylinders in the early portions of this game, as it's been a team effort. I've only had 4 points so far, but it's everybody contributing. I stop and pop. Just kidding. Hand it off to Anthony Davis on the baseline. Gotta send it in right there, baby. Send it in, the brow. This one goes over to Jaleel, and it's great to see him get on the board as he's had a tough series. My roommate, Jaleel Okafor. Haven't had to say his name much. He hasn't been very good. But look at this combo. I put on JJ. I freeze him. Take him to the basket. Drop it off to Derek Favors. As he is looking better and better with every game that passes in this series. He had a tough Game 1 and Game 2. But Game 3 and Game 4, he's looked like a whole different ball player. Wow, what a combo. That was one of those moves that I practiced in the park with Ferran, Donovan, and Deshaun growing up. Favors did have 16 rebounds in Game 4, so I'm really trying to reward him for having such a great game as I hand it off to him again, but he does not finish this time. But the kick out goes to me as AD once again with another rebound. That's probably the cleanest look I'm going to get all game. It's tied up at 41 here. 3 and some change left in the first half. Drew with a big shot. It seems like our offense is just so much more potent when Drew has great games. And then look at Luka. A minute to go in the second, and he's got 6 points to make that 7 with the free throw. Only 3 rebounds. But unfortunately, the bench just cannot hold up their end of the bargain here at halftime. Just like that, with the snap of a finger, it's now a 6-point ball game. And it continued to be a 6-point ball game when I got subbed back in. Can I get this tough step back from mid-range? No good. My shooting in the first half was not great, and I'm not getting off to a very good start here. And that wouldn't just be me in the third quarter. Once again, another tough third quarter of action for us as a team, as Dallas now soars out to a 12-point cushion. No, I can't get that one to fall either, despite having the big men on me and getting to the basket, but the unibrow gets sent back as well. This is the third quarter from hell, it seems like. Hardaway to the basket. Fadeaway circus shot, no good. So we'll take the ball up the other floor. Hart gives it to me immediately. I have another chance to get on the board here in the second half. No good. Anthony Davis, can he put in the easy finish? No. Third time's the charm. Finally. Finally a breakthrough. Anthony Davis coming up big, as nobody on Dallas seems to have an answer for him on the board, especially offensively. But Mirotic, he's been great this game. Yes. Man, what a bounce. As it seems like even whenever we can score, it still gives me a heart attack. I'm rolling off Anthony Davis at the high post. Extra pass to Favors. Tough shot. Good looking shot from Derek Favors, but I'm frustrated at all these false narratives about how I can't close out games. I think it's time I start to take over.
Facts to conceal. He raps and he's real. Put the facts forward, you can really die from the steel. I ain't really keeping tabs, they can die when they will. I just look for a focus, keep my thoughts on the field. Said it's too much on the line to be worried about some lies. A lot of friends undercover, see through the disguise. I just live and I rise, trying to make it to the prize. Doing everything I can, I'm just hoping that I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'll still bomb every song. Trying to be on, trying to fathom out these problems that been killing me off. Still living upon beings that ain't live for a cause. Cause it's the mighty dollar bill that they've been killing the cop. I guess I gotta bring them all back to the basics. This been real life shit, these dudes need to face it. Tripping on some kid shit, you better tie your laces. No time to play with these opponents we facing. How bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? What you gotta do to achieve it?
Just like that, 6 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, all in succession to keep us fighting and kicking in this game. Switch on to Seth Curry, a high pick roll between him and Dwight Powell. I can't get over the screen in time. No help from Derek Favors or the weak side defender, the Brow. But I'm so tired of hearing all that negative criticism. This is our last chance, not of today, but of our season. Down by 3. We need to make a shot that'll make everybody shut up.
That almighty dollar, yeah, might solve a lot of shit. Trying to ball like a young nigga, hit the lottery. Follow me on a mission competition. Myself got let down by so many, but myself.
That 3 ties up this ball game, but Dallas is still playing fast. Deshaun forces up a triple, but he cannot get it to fall. Oh boy, my heart is racing right now. Come on. We need a bucket here to keep our season alive. Do I have another one in me? I pull up. Anthony Davis has my back though. He puts it in. Anthony Davis all season long, all series long. Been a menace when it comes to second chance points. I would never trade Anthony Davis for anything, but we still need one more stop. The game is not over yet. Doncic gives it into Kleba for the tie. No good. We're gonna hold on. Don't want them to foul me, so I'll just chuck it up so they don't got a chance to. So we're forcing basically a game 7. It is a game 5, but it's basically a game 7. It's win or go home, baby. Win or go home. One last chance to finally get my first playoff series win of my career. 17 points, 7 assists. Anthony Davis, he finished with 27 15, but he had 20 and 13 of those in the first half. Drew Holiday with a solid game. Josh Hart with a double-double. Everybody firing on all cylinders. Doncic had 19 and 12 rebounds with only 6 made field goals on the game. So I've been doing a great job of him all series. He is averaging 24, but on worse shooting numbers. It's only 6 assists and only 3 rebounds. A far cry from his triple-double that no 21-year-old has ever done before. Kristaps not even cracking 11 points in the series. Great job on both sides of the floor as Anthony Davis is having the series of his life. Deshaun, 3 of 13 for this game. Josh Hart is also having a great series on both sides of the basketball. And I say all this, I get to the climax of this video just to tell you guys that I will be streaming Game 5, the win or go home. I'll be streaming that very soon. I'm not sure what day yet, but I will have a video. Put your post notifications on. I'll post a video before it happens so you guys can have a little bit of time in advance to get ready for it. But wow, what a playoff series so far. This has been a quick look around the league at what everybody's been averaging. Fron, 22 points a game, really helping the Lakers put down the Denver Nuggets. Donovan averaging 18 and 14 as Portland, they sweep Golden State. Lakers put down Denver in 4. The only playoff series left to determine in the Western Conference is Dallas and New Orleans. Please stay tuned, put your post notifications on, as I'll be streaming that one sometime soon.